Hi guys, welcome to Big Sis Talks. I'm Nakosha, I'm Mahogany, Autumn, and Cynthia. And today we're going to be talking about when life doesn't go as planned. So, when life doesn't go as planned, you guys, we have to remember to always just stay in control and remember that God is in control. Yeah. So, we have to be flexible with things. Um, we always think and desire for things in our life to go in a way that we choose, but the way that we choose isn't always God's plan for us. For example, when I was working for a big corporate company, and I can remember being at work, and I would travel a lot. And I was at work. It was about an hour and 15 minutes away from my home. And I can remember being there and receiving an email as I'm standing there talking to one of my employees. And I was like, well, excuse me, it looks like I have to take a call. And it said that, we had a call, like it was like within the next 10 minutes, I believe it was, we had to be on this emergency call. So I went, and my office was kind of my car, was my office pretty much. And so I was like, let me go take this call in my office. So I go to the car, and I take the call. It's a company wide. And on this call, they let everyone know, hey, you guys, anyone that is on this call right now, you guys, this is your last day of employment. You no longer work for the company. And I'm there like, oh, okay, and I had to go back in where I was working at, and I went back in and I said, well, I just wanted to come let you know I'm no longer with the company. You know what? I'm no longer with the company. And so I'm grabbing my belongings. I go back to my vehicle, and on the way home, I'm like, I don't have a job. But the thing about it was, I was in a place in my life where that did not bother me. Yeah. It didn't bother me because I knew God had it all under control. And I thank God that I was in that place in my life, which I still am, where I could understand that everything would be okay. I went for an entire year with no employment. I got a really nice severance package and unemployment and things like that. But for that entire year that I was without employment, we did not miss a beat. It was as if I was still employed. All the bills got paid, the things that the girls were involved in, it was still going on. We, still got to go on vacation. I mean, it was, everything worked out perfectly as if I was still working. Didn't have a worry in the world. Now, it was times I was like, okay, so I'm going to need to find a job. I'm going to need to find a job. And even throughout that time when I would think like that, God made me see, don't worry about that. I have you, right? And so, just to say that wasn't planned, okay, for me to not have a job that day. Mind you, I'm an hour and some change out from my house, and then all of a sudden there's no job. But everything worked out for the good. And so even later, I ended up getting another job, which I didn't put in an application or a resume for. These people called me just out the blue asking me to work for them and wanted to interview me, asked me to send them a resume. And I'm like, okay, well, let me pray about this. And all of that to say, God blessed me with another job, a bigger opportunity, traveling across the country, making really good money. And so, I was blessed with that. So again, in Romans 8:28, it says, all things work together for good for those that love the Lord. And so I was okay. Yeah. I'm still okay. So just knowing that no matter what the situation may be, if it doesn't go as planned, how you plan it, it doesn't mean it's not going how God planned it. So just be flexible. Yeah. Be flexible in knowing that no matter what happens, God has it all under control. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I loved stories. I love to get stories so you guys can hear different testimonies on this. Well, we'll start with Cynthia today. So Cynthia, tell us: is there something that you could think of about not going as quite how you planned it, but you knew God had it?
Yes, there is a time. So when I was a freshman, I was going to be a freshman, and we were trying out for the volleyball team. I was so excited. I just had a feeling like I was gonna make it, be able to play with my friends. And so we had to drive up to the school. They posted like the list of names of who made the team on the door. And so we had to drive up there from our house to go see. And my mom's recording me. I'm walking. Then I come back and she's still recording and she's asking me, so did you make it? Did you make it? And I was like, no. And she was like, no, be for real. Because you always play around. Not this time. I was being for real. And then I started crying and stuff. But it doesn't always go as planned. But then that same year, my freshman year, I made the basketball team. But not only did I make the basketball team, I made varsity as a freshman and as a starter too.
Yeah. Yes, that's good that you brought that up. I did, y'all. Sorry. I was recording. I was so excited for my baby. We drove up to that school and I'm waiting in the car while she go look at that name on that door, and I can see all the girls going up there, and she walked up there to go see her name on the door. I just knew my baby was going to make the volleyball team because my baby is good, okay? Well, yeah, she came back to the car and I'm just recording, and I was like, so you made it? And she's like, girl, stop playing. I told her stop playing because I have the recorder on. And when I seen those big crocodiles, I was like, oh my goodness, she really did. I was kind of ashamed. I was ashamed because I had the recorder on and my baby did not make that team.
I started laughing at the video.
I had to watch that video after. I did laugh. But I did laugh. But I knew that everything works together for the good of those who love the Lord. So I told her, baby, don't worry about that. That's because he has something better in store for you. And sure enough, he did. And right after that, she got to go directly into basketball, start playing with them in fall ball, and making the team as a freshman, making the varsity team as a freshman, and on the starting lineup, as a freshman. So God had something greater in store for her. So it wasn't about volleyball, because she wanted to do it all. I want to play volleyball. I want to play basketball. I want to run track. I want to play soccer. I was like, but he just had to narrow some things down for her. But that was a good testimony, though. It's funny, but good. So, Autumn, do you have anything for us?
Yes, ma'am. So to piggyback off of what Cynthia said, so after 8th grade, during the summer, I was working hard, because I wanted to make varsity basketball. And I was working hard, doing a lot that I can because I knew my goal, what I wanted to do. So after, during the tryouts, he talked to me and he was telling me that I'm going to be on varsity basketball, but I'm going to be playing JV and varsity. So I was like, well, that's fine. It's okay. Because he said he wanted me to, play more, and I was like, okay, that's fine. So during the season, I played mostly, all JV. And I thought that, I wasn't good enough or something because, I just only played JV and, some varsity girls were playing, and I thought that I could, do that. But I guess, I don't know. So then during playoffs, I got to play, a lot. I had a lot of minutes, and this is on varsity for playoffs. I had a lot of minutes, and I was doing really good. I got better. I got really good really since good. JV. I played a lot on JV. So coming off of varsity, I did pretty good. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. That's a good testimony. You're right. And again, it doesn't go according to plan. So she has goals. She sets goals. She is a goal setter, and she goes for it. And you too. And she goes for it, and she doesn't stop until she hits her goals. And so her goal was to make varsity basketball, and she worked hard over that summer, and she played with her big sister out there, 17U. It was times where she literally probably could have pulled her hair out trying to get it right, but she played really hard. She got a lot of training in, and she really was moving and pushing towards that goal, and she did it. She made varsity as a freshman. She didn't quite get to play on the floor with the varsity as much during the season, but she got to play during playoffs, which was awesome because playoffs we went to the fourth round, and she got to play in every single game, and she got a lot of minutes.
If they didn't know her name then, they definitely knew it now.
Yeah, that's right. If they didn't know it, they know it now. The LeCompte sisters.
The LeCompte sisters, double trouble.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, that's a good testimony. So look how God works, right? Mm-hmm. So even when you thought, well, maybe I'm just not good enough, and then there you go on playoffs, and during the playoffs you get to be out there. Okay, Lord, well maybe I am good.
Well, I never thought negative about it because like what we were talking about, you gotta stay positive and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, good.
Good. Glory be to God.
Yep. Praise God. Oh, well, Mahogany, do you have... I'm sorry, we get in the zone and start thinking about everything. Mahogany, do you have anything to share?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, she does. All right.
So actually, I'm kind of going through that right now when life doesn't go as planned. Pretty similar to my mother, actually. To say the past Big Sis Talks, I talked about how I got that promotion and going through the storm. So actually recently, I lost my job, and it, like my mom said, in the midst of it, it's still staying positive and being flexible, because at first I was kind of confused on if I even wanted to talk about it, because I'm like, well, I know he got it. Like I'm not as overthinking or just so worried. Now, of course, as you go through it, there's things, whatever the case may be, but just being in a place in my life where I know God has it under control, and I don't have to just stress and constant worry of what it is to do next, what is going to be as a child of God, and knowing that, I am his servant and all things work together for those that love the Lord. I really am sitting in a position where it's like, you know what, Lord, you do everything for a reason. And although I may not understand right now, I know you have way bigger plans for me, way bigger plans that I can't even imagine right now, and everything's going to work according to his favor. So in the midst of this, I did lose my job, but I'm okay, and because it may not go as planned, but it's gonna come together, and I'm confident that I have more than enough faith in him, and that's my little testimony of what's going on right now.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Pray for me though.
Yes, indeed, we will. We need to work. So we need to work. No, but thank you for sharing that. That's most people wouldn't share something like that. And you're right. You just talked about how you received that promotion and everything's been going your way, and then here it goes, life, give you a punch, uppercut, and then you're like, wait a minute, Lord, I wasn't expecting that.
It hurt.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And but again, kind of like what we said, even the last time, you just have faith in God, knowing that everything is worked out, and no matter how big that storm may get, God has it all under control. So hey, again, when life doesn't go as planned, you guys, just know that it's in the word clearly in Romans 8:28, and it says all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. So be flexible in understanding that no matter what your situation is, if it's not going the way you expected or the way you have drawn it out, your plan, your blueprint, it will go the way God has it planned for you. It may not happen when you want it to exactly, but it will happen right on time. God will provide. Remember, God will provide. So stay positive, stay firm in knowing that God will provide. He is your rock. He is your foundation. That's all that you need. He will take care of everything for you.
Amen.
All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really do appreciate you. We ask that you like and subscribe. Continue to visit us. We surely do hope that this has touched someone, that whomever out there that needed to hear this today, that those that have ears, let them hear. So until next time, you guys, we'll
see you later.